أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها.
Hafiz Huzaifa has done nearly 20 juz of the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him full Quran inshallah very quickly. Hafiz of the Quran. So I'd like to request my honorable teacher. Does there need any introduction from myself? He's Shaykhul Hadeeth, Tafsir. Just recently he completed the entire Tafsir of the Quran after more than 20 years in Urdu, and he started it again in English. I remember himself mentioned to me once that he's taught all of the 6 authentic books of Hadith. All the Siyasita, he's taught all of them. So, in authority, alhamdulillah, we're very, very lucky to have him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the tawfiq of taking benefit from such individuals.
السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. الحمد للہ نحمده ونستعینه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوکل علیہ ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تبارك وتعالى عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. زين للذين كفروا الحياة الدنيا ويسخرون من الذين آمنوا والذين اتقوا فوقهم يوم القيامة والله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب. وقال تعالى زين للناس حب الشهوات من النساء والبنين والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة والخيل المسومة والأنعام والحرث ذلك متاع الحياة الدنيا والله عنده حسن المآب. وقال تعالى إنا جعلنا ما على الأرض زينة لها لنبلوهم أيهم أحسن عملا. وقال تعالى المال والبنون زينة الحياة الدنيا والباقيات الصالحات خير عند ربك ثوابا وخير أملا. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن لكل أمة فتنة وفتنة أمتي المال. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام حب الدنيا رأس كل خطيئة. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام إن الدنيا حلوة خضرة وإن الله تعالى مستخلفكم فيها فينظر كيف تعملون فاتقوا الدنيا واتقوا النساء فإن أول فتنة بني إسرائيل كانت في النساء. أو كما قال عليه السلام صدق الله مولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الأمي الكريم ونحن على ما قال ربنا وخالقنا ورازقنا من الشاهدين والشاكرين فالحمد لله رب العالمين إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما सब दुरूद शरीफ पढ़े अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद व अला आलि सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद कमा सल्लैता अला सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम व अला आलि सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद अल्लाहुम्मा बारिक अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद व अला आलि सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद कमा बारकता अला सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम व अला आलि सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम Respected elders, brothers, friends, young ones. I hear ladies here as well. Ladies. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Again. First of all, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all his ni'mats, blessings, bounties. Allah gave us tawfiq to perform Salat al-Maghrib with Jama'at. Allah's ihsan upon us. May Allah accept our humble ibadat. May Allah be pleased with us. Then I would like to thank Maulana Ibrahim Saab, Maulana Zaid Saab, committee members, Intizamiya committee for organizing this program. Maulana Ibrahim Surti Saab always comes up with catchy topics. Last time he kept the fortnight topic over here. और उससे पहले क्या था Pokemon, उससे पहले कुछ और. And this time he's kept this TikTok. there he is, TikTok. Here, tick-tock, tick-tock. Where do you hear this ticking, tick-tock, tick-tock? ये आवाज कहाँ आती है? Where do you hear this? On the clocks. You don't get those clocks anymore now. People are on mobiles. Nobody wants to see clocks. But in the olden days, when we used to have clocks in our houses, for alarm clocks, for waking us up, the clock would go tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. I think that's from that they took this app called TikTok. So today we want to talk about this TikTok. भाई इसको बंद कर दो, इसकी लिंक भेज दो. इसको तुम्हें पहले रिहर्सल करना पड़ेगा, फिर सीखना पड़ेगा. Now, what is this TikTok app? We did some research with Maulana Saab, Maulana Zaid Saab. It is a Chinese-owned social media app that allows you to share short videos. That's what it says on the BBC website. It was launched in international market in September 2017. It has become a booming social media platform with over 800 million monthly active users across the world. Now it's gone up to 1 billion and is the second most downloaded app after WhatsApp. Videos can be shared on there from 15 seconds to 3 minutes. And if you want to do live programs, it can be longer. Roughly 50% of its users are under 34. 26% of its users are between the age of 18 and 24. 60% of its users are females. Most of its users are in India. 200 million Indians use it. With such a considerable size, TikTok has a remarkable potential to generate extra income for individuals and for businesses. This is today's topic. Making easy money on TikTok. TikTok. How can we make money on there? I'm not going to teach you how to do it. I'm just mentioning some statistics. Users have made it a source of income. On average, companies pay from $200 to up to $20,000 per branded TikTok video. Creators who have 1 million or more followers can get paid anything between $1,000 to $5,000 per month. How do they make money? Number one, live streaming to receive gifts with built-in monetizing features like on YouTube. You can only start live streaming once you reach 1,000 followers, not before that. Before that, you just have to record and upload. So, number one, you start live streaming and then you get gifts. TikTok gives you gifts. Other companies send you gifts in whatever way Allah knows best. And it has a built-in monetizing feature like on YouTube. But YouTube has a better and bigger coverage. We have our Raheem YouTube channel as well, alhamdulillah. And some of our friends said we should monetize it like some other ulama, Maulana Tariq Jamil Saab and Mufti Tariq Masood, and they monetize it. They get a lot of money for it based on their followers. And it gets a wider coverage as well. So I said, okay, I gave permission. It started. And then someone complained, Maulana Saab, he gets lots of nuisance and advertisers in the middle of the video and bayan. So it gets the effect of the bayan away. So I said to my friends, we don't want money, just stop the monetizing. We only managed to cover $10. $10 महीने में इसका क्या है? छोड़ो इसको, बंद कर दिया. No monetizing. Straight video, all of it. Alhamdulillah, people benefit from our YouTube channel. Number two, making your own branded merchandise. You make your own merchandise. You make it, and then you advertise it, and then people follow you. And they buy it from you, and you make money in that way. Number three, events appearance. If you are a major TikTok influencer, your appearance at branded public events can be significant income source. So companies invite you, and they make your videos, and they spread it out to your followers, and they get the advertisement and they pay you for that based on the amount of your followers. That's how you make money. Number four, companies get in touch with you and offer you money for advertising their products. Adidas, Nike, other major companies, they get in touch with you that you got so many followers, you advertise our stuff and we will pay you for it. Famous TikTokers, there were some names from there, I don't want to mention those names, could have between 50 million to 100 million followers. 100 million followers. Now, TikTok might have some benefits, little bit of amusement, little bit of entertainment. I was just coming now and browsing through my WhatsApp, and someone sent a video of our respected Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and a short video on TikTok. He's sitting in function somewhere, it's raining, and he has an umbrella, and he struggles to open that umbrella. And when he opens it, with the wind it flies away, out. And then he's struggling to hold it back. And someone is laughing at the bottom and he's saying, this guy, can't control an umbrella. How is he going to control the whole country? So sometimes little bit of, these types of videos put a smile on your face. little bit of amusement, that could be okay, not much harm in there. We get this type of entertainment on the other social media platforms, whether it's WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Now, TikTok has overtaken all these, Instagram, because Instagram lets your video stay there for 24 hours and then deletes it. But TikTok doesn't delete your videos. It keeps it there. So even after a month or two, if someone likes your video and he promotes it, then your followers could shoot up instantly. So this is the benefit of TikTok, which Insta doesn't have. So it can be a little bit of entertainment, amusement. And in theory, one can become TikTok famous. You don't have to be a reality TV star or a celebrity sports person to make viral videos. Anybody can make their videos go viral on TikTok. However, what are the downsides of TikTok? Number one, there is too much pressure to make regular videos. It becomes a full-time job. You're always struggling to make videos. Sometimes a 15-second video takes 1 hour to make. So imagine how much time you'll be spending. And then you want to keep your followers happy, so you're always struggling. You want to make videos. You don't want to lose them. You don't want them to desert you. So you have to make videos regularly, quickly, every day, few videos a day, and keep on uploading and bombarding them on TikTok. So it keeps you too busy. Number two, when you go in this life of social media, you don't have a life of your own. You're always in tension. Number three, it is so addictive that in the year 2019, TikTok had to introduce adverts encouraging users to take breaks from the app. Go and drink some water, have something to eat, go and relieve yourself. You've been on this for hours. They said, you're in control. And they wanted people to avoid continuous looking at the screen. They said, we are thinking about your mental well-being. So it's so addictive that it had to force people and shut their screen off and tell them to go and eat something, drink something, relieve yourself, do your istinja, and then come back home. Otherwise, people would not leave it for hours and hours and hours. And it's constantly one video after the other, one video after the other, one video after the other, and you don't want to stop. It's highly addictive. And then there is too much nudity on it. Too much nudity. A video is only accepted when there is nudity, there is dancing, there is songs, singing, music. That's the type of videos people like. And then there are challenges in there. Kiss your best friend and see how they react and upload the video on TikTok. There was a silhouette challenge where girls had to pose naked and put a filter over it to make it look like a shadow. But some people figured out how to remove the filter and see the actual image, the actual body. You see how things can go from bad to worse. You have no control over it. Once you've posted your video on there, you're gone. And we heard of girls posting their videos on Facebook and Snapchat, sometimes, decent, nice, religious, namazi, hijabi girls. They just open their hair and take a photo or video and upload it. And then that photo and video is shared by someone in Australia or America or elsewhere around the world. So the girl would be walking with hijab on Queen's Road, but she is being hijab around the world. Now this is just showing the hair or face or whatever. But if you show the whole body, imagine what's going to happen. This is why we say to our girls, don't share your photos. Sometimes, I had one case somewhere. I was in another country And one of our friends who had studied over here as well for a bit, and he was, he had uploaded some photo of his family photos, snaps. Someone took his wife's face and joined it with a nude body, and then they harassed him. Asked him for money. Ransom. Pay me this much amount, otherwise I'm going to upload it around the whole social media. He phoned Hazrat, I'm in a lot of tension. Hazrat said, go to police immediately, report it, and don't give any money. And he did. And alhamdulillah, Allah protected him. So these things can happen as well. If our people go on YouTube or TikTok and start posting their videos, they can be manipulated in various ways. We have to understand it very carefully. Also, many kids are on it 24/7. Parents don't know what the kids are doing. There is no tarbiyat of the kids. And on social media, kids play games. Fortnite we talked about before. Or before there was Grand Theft Auto, Sin City. I don't know what games are now. Times are moving so fast we can't even keep up. But in many of these games, there's nudity, rape, murder, shooting, blood. And our mentality becomes such that we become inhumane. We don't understand what humanity is. And if something happens to someone, some accident or something, rather than helping them, everybody takes their mobiles out and start videoing and taking photos. Nobody calls for an ambulance or tries to help, stop the bleeding, whatever, because our minds have become inhumane. So this is what the social media does to our minds. TikTok is also a social media platform with over 1 billion followers. We need to understand that people try to make money on it. We have to avoid it. Don't use these social media platforms. Explain to your kids. Don't waste your life. Don't waste your life. You'll regret it one day. Why didn't I study properly? Why didn't I become Hafiz? Why didn't I become Alim? Why did I not do this? And believe me, life is very uncertain. Death can come at any time. The time of death is fixed, but we don't know when it's coming. So we have to be preparing for our life after death. We should not be constantly engaged and busy in the life of this world. I'm going to read some passages from Imam Ghazali, Rahmatullah's book, which will explain it a little bit more. But just want to say, just last weekend, I was in Scotland, and someone informed me that this family went to Loch Lomond, the lake, and they were having a nice time, and they went for a swim in the water, but the current was so strong that 3 people from one family were drowned. One 41-year-old man, a 29-year-old woman, and a 9-year-old boy. You see, death can strike anytime, anywhere. And there was another boy, I think he was 7 or some odd age, and he was in intensive care. Some of the other family members who tried to save also ended up in hospital. You see, another family from Preston got stuck and they were pulled by the current, but they were lucky that some people jumped in and saved them, and the young boy was saved. So death can come at any time. It's not that we'll get old and we'll start praying namaz and we'll do tawbah and then we'll go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No. It can come any time, to the old people, to the young people, to the men, to the women. So we all have to remember that this worldly life is only temporary life. We are not here to enjoy. We are here to just survive on basic meager needs, just enough food and drink. And the more we do, the more tasbihat, zikr, azkar, awrad we do, prepare for our life after death, the better for us. The better for us. Quran Sharif says وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. Worldly life is a temporary enjoyment of deception. We are deceived by this worldly life. We are tricked by it. Quran said, فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا وَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ. Do not let the worldly life deceive you, and do not let the deceptive deceive you. That is shaitan. So Quran indicated that there are two who are extremely deceptive. They are fraudsters, they are cheaters, they trick us, they deceive us. Dhokabaz hai. Number one, dunya. And number two, Iblis. Iblis is Jahannam, eternal Jahannam. He wants to take us all to Jahannam. And all this social media is his trick of deceiving us and pulling us towards Jahannam. Our Prophet ﷺ went on Mi'raj. And while he was traveling, among the hadith of Mi'raj, we see that he was moving with Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam, and there was an old lady on one side in a pitiful state, disheveled hair, and she was calling out, Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad. And Jibreel alayhi salam said, Muhammad, don't pay attention, just keep walking. You know, sometimes we feel pity for someone, some beggar or someone, so Huzur thought that she might be in need of something, but Jibreel alayhi salam said, don't pay attention, keep walking. And then there was this old man, and he was screaming out, Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad. And Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was told by Jibreel alayhi salam, don't pay attention, keep walking. Later on, Jibreel alayhi salam said that old woman was dunya, worldly life, wealth. He was trying to appeal to you, lure you, attract you, entice you, captivate you, that you pay attention to it. But the world and the dunya is like that old lady. It has no qarar, no stability in it, and is very close to death. So the world, the dunya, is very close to shaitan. He wanted you to pay attention to him so he can deceive you. This is Qurani ayat. فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا وَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ. So, my dear brothers, elders, friends, ladies, keep this point in mind, that this world is only a place of temporary life, and we are here to prepare for our life after death. We should not get busy, so much engrossed in this world that we forget our akhirat. Don't let this happen to you. May Allah protect me as well, you as well. You know, this book, Sufisms, it has some nice stuff in there, and it mentions the example of this worldly life. There was this person, you know, who went to the bath, swimming baths, like they had bath cubicles. He went for a bath, but all the cubicles were full. So he just sat down and then he lied down and he fell asleep because he was tired. Now he sees a dream that that same swimming baths or the stone bath cubicles are there, and a person arrives in a beautiful limousine. The chauffeur comes out, opens the door, and the person who is a millionaire, he comes out there and he comes to one of these cubicles. Now the dreamer sees that he is exactly his lookalike, twin. So he looks at him, marvels, wow, he's just exactly my copy here, he's like my twin brother. Now as the person enters one of the cubicles, he has a fit, epileptic fit, falls and he dies. Nobody's watching. So this person, you know, quickly rushes inside and he puts him on one side and he takes his clothes off and then he has shower and then puts his clothes on and comes outside. The chauffeur is waiting there. So he thinks it's his boss. So he opens the door and he sits in that beautiful first class limousine, and the chauffeur takes him to his house and opens the door. He goes in that beautiful mansion and his beautiful wife is there, and she's saying, you know that property we sold, the $500,000 check is here and we will have to deposit it in the bank. And he's feeling nice, smiling, mashallah. Nobody's going to find out. And I'm going to enjoy my luxurious life now. In the meantime, you know, the bath keeper, he comes and kicks him up his back, said, hey, give me this, so I would. And he gets somebody, oh, my whole drink's gone. Wake up, you've been sleeping here for so long. And it lies that this is the reality of this worldly life. We are dreaming. We only wake up when we die. When we die, when we go to the qabr, that's the time when we wake up. Until then we are sleeping, we are just dreaming. This whole worldly life is a dream. And we wake up from that dream the day we die, when we go down under the qabr, when everything opens up before us. Life after death. It opens up as soon as Malakul Maut arrives. As soon as Malakul Maut arrives. This is why at the time of death, if a person wants to do tawbah, his tawbah is not accepted. Because the other world is opened up. And when you see Malakul Maut, your iman or your tawbah, your repentance will not be accepted. So, we have to understand this point very carefully. May Allah give us tawfiq to understand it. Now, to explain this point, no one can speak better than Imam Ghazali. This is his book, Summary of Ihya wa Ulumuddin, 40 Principles of the Religion. Over here on page 156, Imam Ghazali is Ghazali, master. He is Hujjatul Islam. He can't be Hujjatul Islam for without any reason. He had something which made him Ghazali. Today some people criticize Ghazali, namely Shaykh Dr. Akram Nadwi. He criticized Ghazali. Who is Ghazali? He was deviant, he was a shadi, his aqidah was not right. Dr. Saab, what do you know who Ghazali was? If Ghazali was here today, he would slaughter you. He would have no leg to stand in front of Ghazali rahimahullah. Look at what Imam Ghazali rahmatullah writes. He writes over here on page 156, the 7th principle, love of the world, hubbud dunya. Know that love of the world is the head of every sin. You know the hadith I said in khutbah? Hubbud dunya ra'su kulli khati'ati. Is the head of every sin. The world is not merely an expression for wealth and status. Rather, they are two of the world's fortunes and two of its branches, which are manifold. Wealth and status are just two of the world's branches, which are manifold. Your world is an expression of your state before death. And your afterlife is an expression of your state after death. Everything in which you have fortune is of your world, except for knowledge, awareness, freedom, and whatever remains with you after death. Indeed, these are also delightful to people of insight. However, they are not of the world, even though they are in the world. These worldly fortunes have a relationship with you. A relationship with whatever the fortune is found in, and a relationship with your actions related to their rectification. So, they derive from actual things that are present. Your fortune in respect of them and your effort to rectify them. As for the actual things, they are the earth and everything upon it. The actual things are the earth and everything upon it. Allah said, "Inna ja'alna ma'ala al-ardi zinatan laha linabluwahum ayyuhum ahsanu amala." Verily, we have made what is on the earth an adornment for it, so that we may test who is the best indeed. Verse 18, Surah 18, verse 7. What the human being seeks from the earth is either the earth itself for shelter and agriculture, its plants for medicine and nourishment, its minerals for coins, utensils and tools, its animals for riding and eating, or its people for deriving sexual pleasure and employment. Allah has gathered all of that in His statement, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ. Beautified for people is the love of that which they desire from women and sons, etc. As for your fortune from the world, the noble Quran has used the term caprice, al-hawa, to express it. Allah says, اعلموا أنما الحياة الدنيا لعب ولهو وزينة وتفاخر بينكم وتكاثر في الأموال والأولاد. Know that the life of this world is only a game, an entertainment, an adornment, boasting among yourselves and competing to gain wealth and have children. This includes all of the internal destructive characteristics, whether pride, rancor, envy, seeking reputation, ostentation, hypocrisy, boasting, competition, love of the world, or love of praise. These comprise the internal world, your internal world, and the external world is of actual things. As for your effort to rectify it, this is the totality of industry and vocations that the creation is preoccupied with. In so being, they have forgotten themselves, their beginning and their end, due to the complete immersion of their preoccupation with these things. What has preoccupied people is their sentimental attachment. For indeed, the heart's attachment is to the love of this world's good fortune, and the body's attachment is to the working for its rectification. This is the reality of the world, whose love is the head of every sin. It was only created as a source of provision on the journey to the life after death. However, the abundance of its destruction and varieties of its desirable things has made foolish people forget their journey and their objective. Hence, they fall short in their aspirations on account of this world. They are like a pilgrim in the open desert who becomes preoccupied with preparing and feeding his camel, only to be left behind by his party until he misses the Hajj and then is devoured by the predators of the desert. Do you understand this chapter? Ghazali is going very deep. Very deep. I don't want to go into explanation of it. Basically, the world and everything on it is created by Allah as an adornment, beauty, so that we may use it as much as we need it. It's not such that we fall for it and we, give it all our time and energy and go after it. This love of the world is something which is blameworthy, which is wrong. We should not be doing that. Ghazali explains that it results in many other sins like hasad, malice, rancor, fame. All these are bad habits. They come because of our love for the world. We love dunya, we want money, we want fame, we are jealous of other people, we hate other people, we have pride in ourselves, we boast over our things. This all results because of the love of this world, this dunya. This is why Prophet ﷺ said, the love of world and dunya is the head of all sins. So if a person gets preoccupied with the world, then he is destroyed by the world. His example is like a person who is traveling with a caravan and they camp at one oasis in a desert, somewhere, and he likes that oasis, and he likes the greenery, and he starts feeding his camel, and he settles down there as though he's going to live there, and the caravan departs, and he is left behind to enjoy. But what's going to happen? The predators of the wild are going to devour him, kill him, finish him. This is how, if we fall for the world, then the predators around the world, Iblis, Mal'oon, Shaitan and other things are going to kill us, destroy us. This is why we should not let the love of the world creep into our hearts. Trying to make money on TikTok and social media is a result of the love for the world and the love for the faith. We want to be famous, we want money, we want dunya. This is why people go on these social websites in order to gain that fame, which is just zehni. There's no reality behind it. So, love of the dunya should be kicked out of our hearts, and love of akhirat should replace it. This brings one hadith to mind. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Man ahabba dunyahu adarra bi akhiratihi, wa man ahabba akhiratahu adarra bi dunyahu, fa'athiru ma yabqa ala ma yafna." Whoever loves the dunya will harm his akhirat, and whoever loves the akhirat will have to harm his world. Give preference to what remains over what perishes. Life after death is going to remain forever. Prefer that and get rid of this dunya which is going to perish. Don't fall for the dunya. Have love for the akhirat. When you have love for the akhirat, what are you going to do? You're going to keep busy in a'mal. You're going to pray 5 times a day. You're going to pray tahajjud. You're going to pray ishraq, charge, tawabin. You're going to read Quran. You're going to do your zikr, fikr, tasbihat. You're going to behave good. You're going to be proper. You're going to have a life of taqwa. You'll avoid sins. You'll avoid misbehavior. You will avoid disobedience. The boys will be kind and nice to their parents. The parents will be nice and kind to their children. There will be love and peace and harmony among brothers, sisters, family members. Our social life, real social life, will be real. And we'll get away from this flimsy, imaginary social life. Social friends are not real friends. Real friends are the ones who are there for us at the time of our need. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Social friends never help you when you're in trouble. The real friends will come to help you. You need to get in touch with your real friends and get rid of your social friends. This is what Ghazali is explaining. Listen a bit more. The world has a field for cultivating the life after death, for the one who knows it. Ghazali rahmatullah alayhi writes, this blameworthy, destructive world is in its essence a field for cultivating the afterlife, mazra'atul akhirah. For the one who knows it, he knows that it is one of the rest stops for those traveling to Allah, and it is a hospice built in the middle of the road in which food, supplies and traveling accoutrements are prepared. Whoever equips there for his afterlife and limits himself to the necessary amount that we have mentioned in regards to food, clothing, sexual relations and remaining necessities has spent and cultivated wealth. In the afterlife, he will harvest what he planted. Whoever goes beyond this and is preoccupied with the world's pleasures will be destroyed. The likeness of the creation in regards to this world is the likeness of a people riding a ship that stops at an island. The captain orders them to get off in order to relieve themselves, yet alerts them to the dangers of the area and that the ship will set sail quickly. So the people split up on the island. Some of them relieve themselves immediately, return to the ships and find a vast empty place to sit. Some of them stop to look at the island's flowers, streams, elegant stones and wondrous plant life, and to listen to the birds singing. They return to the boat yet to find any place to sit except a tight corner. Seashells and rocks whose beauty astonishes them, enthralls some of them. Their selves will not allow them to leave except after taking souvenirs. They find only tight space on the ship. The shells and rocks they took increase their weight and discomfort, and they are not able to dispose of them, since they cannot find a spot. They hold those rocks and shells on their backs and are weighed down by the load. Some engage in exploring the thickest of plant life. They forget about the ship and are preoccupied with looking at flowers and picking fruit. However, it is a visual enjoyment, not devoid of fear from predatory animals or caution from plunging over the cliff and other disasters. When they return to the ship, they do not find it, and they are left on the shore. The ship had already departed. Then they are mauled by the predatory animals and torn apart by vermin. This is the picture of the world in relation to its place next to the afterlife. Think deeply about this and extract the parallel aspects within it, if you are an insightful person. Whoever knows himself, his Lord, the world's adornment, and afterlife witnesses through the light of the insight the world's enmity towards the afterlife. It is decisively unveiled to him that there is no happiness in the afterlife unless a person meets Allah, knowing Allah and loving Allah. Love is not achieved except through constant remembrance of Allah, and knowledge is not achieved except through constantly seeking and thinking. No one is at leisure to do so unless that person turns away from the material world's distractions. Knowledge and love do not conquer the heart so long as it is not free from loving other than Allah. The heart being free from other than Allah is integral to its being busy with loving and knowing Allah. This is inconceivable for anyone other than the one who turns away from the world and is content with an amount of its necessity for the traveler. If you are among the insightful, then you will have become from among the people of experience and direct witnessing. If you are not from among them, then be from among the people of blind following in regards to the faith, and examine Allah's warnings to you through the book and the sunnah. He said, "Man kana yuridu al-hayata ad-dunya wa zinataha, nuwaffi ilayhim a'malahum fiha." Whoever desires the worldly life and its adornment, we give them the full share of reward for their deeds in the world. He also said, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُ مُسْتَحَبُّ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا عَلَى الْآخِرَةِ. That is because they love the worldly life more than the afterlife. He also said, فَأَمَّا مَنْ طَغَى وَآثَرَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا. As for the one who transgresses and prefers the worldly life. Perhaps a third of the Quran is about censoring the material world and materialistic people. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the Hadeeth, the world and whatever is in it is cursed, except for remembrance of Allah. He said, how astonishing is the one who affirms the everlasting abode, yet rushes to the abode of delusion. He also said, the world is merely pleasant greenery. Allah creates you upon it one generation after another and examines how you act. He said, Allah has not created a creation more loathsome to Him than the material world. He has not looked at the world since He created it, meaning in an affectionate way. He said, whoever wakes while his greatest aspiration is the world, Allah has nothing to do with him. Allah attaches 4 traits to his heart: an aspiration that he will never achieve, work that he will never finish, poverty from which he will never be enriched, and hope that he will never fulfill. Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu said, Allah's messenger said, "O Abu Hurairah, shall I not show you the world in its entirety?" I said, "Yes." So he took my hand and led me to a garbage dump in which there were people's heads, refuse, rags and bones. He said, "O Abu Hurairah, these heads used to strive for what you strive for and hope for what you hope for. Today they are bones with no skins and shall turn to dust. this refuse is the color of their food. They acquired it from whatever they acquired it, and then threw it from their bellies. It became as such, and people avoid it. These worn out rags used to be their personal effects and clothing. They have become as such, and the wind throws them around. These bones are the bones of their riding beasts that they were so thrilled by as they rode through the countryside. So whoever would cry over the world, let him cry. He ﷺ said, a people will come forth on the day of resurrection with deeds as massive as the Tihama mountains, and it will be commanded that they be thrown in hell. The companions said, O Messenger of Allah, did they pray? He said, yes, they prayed, fasted, and took some time praying at night. However, if anything from the material world was shown to them, they jumped for it. You get it? They were good people, but as soon as there was some material world, they just jumped for it. They fell for it. This is what landed them into Jahannam in spite of the good deeds which they came with. Isa alayhi salam said, the world and the afterlife do not go together in a believer's heart, just as water and fire do not go together in a single container. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, beware of the world, for its certainty is more enchanting than Harut and Marut. Isa alayhi salam said, O disciples, be content with worldly lowliness and sound religion, just as worldly people are content with lowly religion and worldly security. Isa alayhi salam also said to the disciples, indeed, eating barley bread with unrefined salt, wearing coarse garments, and sleeping on a rubbish heap is abundant with well-being in this world and the afterlife. It is narrated that the world was unveiled to Isa alayhi salam, and he saw it in the image of an old hag wearing every sort of adornment. He said to her, how many have you married? She replied, I cannot count them. He said, do they divorce you or leave you by dying? She said, rather, I killed all of them. Isa alayhi salam said, how terrible it is for your remaining husbands. How do they not take heed of what happened to your previous husbands? Know that anyone who thinks that he can be enthralled in the world with his body, yet avoid it with his heart, is delusional. The Prophet ﷺ said, the likeness of a worldly person is the likeness of one who walks on water. Is the one who walks in water able to walk without getting his feet wet? No. So if you walk in the world, your feet will get wet, meaning you will commit sins and disobediences if you fall for the world. Ali radiallahu anhu wrote to Salman Farsi, the likeness of the world is the likeness of a snake. It is soft to touch, yet its venom is lethal. Turn away from what amazes you therein, because little of it stays with you. Drop what you think is important concerning it, because you are certain that it will depart. Be at your happiest when you are most wary of it. For indeed, every time its owner finds solace and happiness in the world, some detestable thing takes it away from him. Isa alayhi salam said, the likeness of the seeker of the world is the likeness of one who drinks ocean's water. The more he drinks, the thirstier he becomes until it kills him. Know that whoever finds solace in the world while he is certain that he will depart from it is at the pinnacle of foolishness. Rather, the likeness of the world is the likeness of a home, the owner of which has prepared and adorned it for receiving guests. Someone enters the home and is offered a golden tray with frankincense and sweet basil to smell and leave for the next person not to own it. However, he is ignorant of the owner's way of doing things and believes that he is given the tray as a gift. When the guest's heart becomes attached to the tray, the owner asks for it to be returned to pass it on to another guest. But this guest is angered and hurt. Whoever knows the owner's way of doing things, enjoys the tray, thanks the owner and returns it to him with a good and open heart. Likewise, Allah's habit in regards to the world is similar. It is a guest home for travelers, not permanent residents. to make preparations and benefit from it, just as an empty home may be benefited from. They leave it for whoever will come after them, the goodness and without them with goodness, and without their hearts forming an attachment. This is the likeness of the world and whatever Allah has created in it. You see the beautiful words of Ghazali. Can someone beat Ghazali? Impossible. You know, Mamaji, Hazrat's uncle barrister, was a barrister, but he was very strong on Aqidah. Hazrat once asked him, you know, you are a barrister, educated, how are you so strong on deen? And he said, I have read Ghazali's Ihya al-Ulum over and over again, that's what kept me strong. And he said, I have read Hazrat Shaykh's Fazail Amal as well, and I can see that they both come from the same window. Both rays are coming from the same. Shaykh's work in Fazail Amal and Ghazali's Ihya are both very identical and similar. Anyway, my dear elders, brothers, you know, we have learned that this world is temporary. We must not fall for it. These types of TikToks and social media platform will keep coming. Tomorrow something else will come, and then after a few weeks or months something else will come. We should not fall for these things. We should understand, you know, our purpose of life and prepare for our life after death. We should not fall for these things. Shaykh Ali Muttaqi, I will conclude on these 2 minutes. Shaykh Ali Muttaqi rahmatullahi alayhi said that, you know, Iblis is our enemy, and he tries to work on us, and he has his ways of working. So he has his army, and he explained it, described it very beautifully. But he has 4 main players in his team. The first player at the front, the attacker in the football team, is the nafs. And on the right wing is the dunya. And on the left wing is the hawa. And at the back in defense is Iblis himself. So he said he uses these, you know, 4 ways to attack you and take your iman away and take you to Jahannam with him. Now you need an army of 4 as well. The nafs is at the front. To tackle the nafs, you need the ilm, knowledge. You have to understand the afat of nafs. This is Ghazali just talking about 1 point about love for the world. He's mentioned 10 points of how shaitan distracts us. This is just 1 point. You learn, you study Ghazali's Ihya al-Ulum, afatul nufus, and then you protect yourself from the afat of the nafs. And on the right wing, he has the dunya. And he said, he tries to attack you from dunya. You need an army of zuhd. Zuhd means abstinence from the luxuries and pleasures of this world. Nothing to do with this world. When dunya comes to your feet, you kick it away. Literally, Mashayikh used to kick it away. Go away. Hazrat Ali said, to dunya, hayhat, hayhat, ghurri ghayri, qad batattuki salat. I've given you 3 divorces. I don't want to see your face. Don't come near me. Hazrat Maulana Qasim Nanodri, somebody bought him, you know, bag of rupees. And I said, I don't want it. He said, please take it. I don't want it. I don't need it. My salary is sufficient for me. Please take it as a gift. No. Please distribute it on your student. No, I don't want to do that. Hazrat realized that his intention was not, you know, clear in that gift. So Hazrat said, go away. So he took it. And where Hazrat's shoes were, he dropped the bag and the coins on Hazrat's shoes and left. When Hazrat finished his lessons and stood up with the students, he saw that bag there. Hazrat smiled. And he said, Chalo ab le lo, take it now. And he said, dunya goes to people of dunya as well, and it comes to us as well. The difference is they run after the dunya, and dunya runs after us. So, dunya, you need to have zuhd in dunya. Kick it out as much as you can. And you know this beautiful hadith. Izhad fi dunya yuhibbuk Allah. Wazhad fi ma inda nas yuhibbuk an-nas. Have zuhd in dunya, Allah will love you. Have zuhd in what people have, and people will love you. Don't be lalchi and greedy and look at people's stuff. He's nice car. I wish he gives me nice clothes, nice pen, nice this, nice phone. I wish he gives me. This is lalash, greed. Don't have that in you. Just be abstinent. Zuhd. Jazakallah, mashallah, barakallah. Thank you very much. You got a very nice car. You got a very nice. May Allah give you barakat. May Allah give you more. Give him du'as. But don't be lalchi and greedy. People will love you. People will say, mashallah, he's a very nice person. So, Prophet ﷺ said, you love zuhd in dunya, Allah will love you. Zuhd in what people have, people will love you. So, how to tackle dunya on the right wing? With zuhd. And on the left wing was hawa. Hawa means desires, shahawat. So, to tackle the shahawat and desires, you need some aql, intelligence, understanding. You have to understand that this is just my carnal desire and I should not fall for the hawa. Use your brains. You got brains, no bananas, no potatoes. Use your brains. If there is shahwat and hawa appealing to you, think that this is shahwat and I should not fall for it. This is a desire. This is shaitani harkat. Shaitan is trying to tempt me, lure me. Use your aql. And at the back is shaitan himself. And he is orchestrating and controlling everything. So how do you tackle shaitan? Very easy to tackle shaitan. Very easy. How do you tackle it? Zikr. Zikr. Min sharril waswasil khannas. Ibn Abbas says, asarli. Shaitan sits on your heart. And when you are ghafil, he pokes and pokes and pokes. As soon as you do Allah zikr, shaitan runs away. So al-waswas means whisperer and khannas means retreater. He whispers, but as soon as you do zikr, he runs away. If you are at work, if you are a taxi driver, if you are in hospital, and you know some woman comes forward, and you get waswasas in your heart mind, immediately take your tasbih out and start reciting Subhanallah, bihamdi, Subhanallah, Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, astaghfirullah. Shaitan, immediately your waswasas will go. I guarantee you, the best way to get rid of waswasas, zikrullah. When a person is doing zikr, shaitan cannot touch him. Shaitan has to run away. You know when azan is called out, he's so terrified that he runs away 36 miles. He can't bear the hammer of azan on his brain. So as soon as you start doing zikr, shaitan will run. So concluding on this, shaitan is our enemy. He tries to attack us. He has a huge army. I'm just summarizing it. At the front, he has the nafs. He uses your ego. Nafs and shaitan both work in hand. They're both real brothers. They both work together. So your nafs is at the front. Then he has dunya on the right wing. Hawa nafs on the hawa. And khaishat and desires on the left wing. And he himself is at the back. You need to tackle these four with four armies. At the front to tackle the nafs, you need ilm, knowledge. Don't be jahil. Don't be ignorant. Learn, study your deen. Acquire ilm, understand everything. 1 hour bayan is not going to do everything for you. You have to learn. Read some kitabs. Understand, read more, listen to more bayans, study, self-educate, go to ulama, mashayikh, come to them, sit in their sohbat, learn from the mashayikh and ulama kiram. You need ilm and knowledge. On the right to tackle the dunya, you need zuhd. On the left to tackle the hawa, you need some understanding and aql. And at the back to tackle shaitan, you need zikr. May Allah give us tawfiq to do zikr. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin nabiyyin ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim taslima. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa 'allimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna ilma. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please have mercy upon us, forgive us, accept whatever we have said. O Allah, protect us from all fitnas, fitna of dunya, fitna of hawa, fitna of TikTok, fitna of social media, and fitna of shaitan, fitna of our nafs. And O Allah, keep us all steadfast on Sirat al-Mustaqim. All these brothers who are sitting over here, sisters living upstairs, O Allah, reward them for their muhabbat, reward them for every step they took from their homes to the masjid, and benefit them. And whoever is listening on the internet, wherever, reward them and benefit all them as well. Accept our du'as. Allah, give us all those good things which your beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked from you. Protect us from all those evil from which he sought your protection. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصل اللهم وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك.